Have you noticed this weird thing happening in your business? Revenue's up, your reputation's growing, your team, it's larger than it's ever been. But somehow you feel more trapped than you did a year ago. You're not imagining it, and you're definitely not alone. This is one of the most common problems I see with business owners who are at this growth stage. So let me show you what's actually happening here and the shift that makes your business feel lighter almost immediately. Because here's the thing, your business isn't stealing your freedom. You're in the wrong role. And once that's fixed, everything changes. Most business owners think freedom comes from hiring more people, building better systems, documenting processes, and getting the team finally up to speed. Those things help, but they're not why you're stuck. The real issue, you're in the wrong role. Your business grew up, but you're still leading it the same way you did 3 years ago. Nobody told you to shift. No one explained that your leadership has to evolve as your business evolves. That's why this trap is so common and why it's not your fault. Today, I'm going to show you what actually causes this trap, why growth feels heavier instead of easier, the one shift that frees up your time, and how to know what role your business actually needs you in right now. Okay, quick question before we dive in. Have you ever grown the business but then ended up feeling less free? Drop a thumbs up in the comments so that I know I'm not the only one who's seen this. Okay, so here's what nobody tells you. Businesses evolve. It happens naturally and pretty predictably, actually. Early on, you're doing everything. You're the one serving clients, answering emails, solving problems, and making decisions. You're hands-on because you have to be. But as the business grows, something has to shift. The business starts needing less of you as the doer and more of you as the leader. The problem? Most business owners never make that shift. Not because they're doing it wrong, but because nobody ever teaches them when to shift or how to shift. So they keep operating the same way, even though the business has moved into a completely different stage. And that's where everything starts breaking down. So here's where the scaling trap starts to happen. Your business evolves, new team members join, bigger projects, more revenue, more complexity. But you're still leading the same way you did when it was just a couple of clients. You're still answering every question, solving every fire, reviewing every detail, making most of the decisions, and being the safety net for everyone. And here's what happens when that role doesn't shift. Everything still falls back on you. Your team relies on you instead of owning their results. Your workload goes up, your time disappears, and your freedom, well, it's gone. I hear this all the time. I thought growth would make things easier, but somehow it feels harder, it feels heavier, more of me is required. Well, that's because the business is shifted, but your role didn't. I've been coaching business leaders for over 20 years now, and I've seen this exact pattern play out again and again. I worked with a business owner who'd been at it for about 10 years. Business was booming, Google reviews were climbing, reputation was solid, and foot traffic was up. He was thrilled with the growth. But here's the weird part. He was more in the weeds than ever. Working longer hours, answering more questions. He told me, Melissa, I thought scaling meant I'd finally get my weekends back. Instead, I'm working more now than I did 5 years ago. What am I doing wrong? And here's what I told him. You're not doing anything wrong. You're just leading from the wrong stage. Here's what had happened. The business had expanded. The team had expanded. There were more customers. The demands had expanded. But his role? It was still the same as when he had started. He was still running it like a small hands-on business, even though it had become a full-fledged operation. And because his role stayed the same, everything fell back on him. Once he saw that the business didn't need a doer anymore, it needed a leader, everything changed. His time opened up, his team stepped up, the business, it actually got lighter. Here's where most business advice gets it wrong. They tell you things like, you need better systems, you need SOPs, you need a better org chart, you need to delegate more. And yes, those things matter. But here's the thing, systems only work when your leadership role matches where your business actually is. If your role is misaligned, systems won't save you, dashboards won't save you, templates won't save you, new hires or delegating more, they won't save you because you can't systemize your way out of a leadership problem. That's pretty important. Write that down. You can't systemize your way out of a leadership problem. Real freedom, it starts from the inside out. You fix the leadership first, then everything else falls into place. It works like this: leadership clarity, role alignment, team autonomy, system support, which allows you to scale with freedom. That's how you actually escape the scaling trap. So ask yourself this: is my business operating at a higher level than I'm leading? Think about it. Are you still the first person your team comes to with every question? Are you still reviewing every deliverable before it goes out? Are you still the safety net for every decision? If yes, well, your role hasn't evolved with your business. And just seeing that, just knowing it, well, it changes how you lead. You make better decisions, you stop taking back work, you let your team step up, and things start getting lighter fast. Look, your business isn't stealing your freedom, your role is. The moment you start leading from the right stage, everything gets lighter. Growth becomes sustainable and your team takes ownership. And you finally get to enjoy the business you've built. All right, if you found this helpful, hit like and subscribe. I talk about leadership changes, the stages of business growth, and how to grow your business with more results and less sacrifice here every single week. That's all for now. See you next time.